Hello YouTube, it's your favorite red-headed, one-handed, ginger bassist drummer slash reviewer coming at you with my first review since I've got my YouTube partnership, and I'm going to be really fancy and say that this album that I'm going to be reviewing today is this puppy, Blink-182's Neighborhoods Deluxe version and a special version. So, um, I'm going to be diving right into it, going track by track and doing a bunch of ratings and crap, but unfortunately I don't have the hard copy, so I can't really do the artwork or things that I would normally do with other CDs that I have the hard copy for, so I apologize for that in advance. But diving right in, so I guess I'll show the cover. Of course, it's not going to be as good because it's on my iPad, but as you could tell, based on the name Neighborhoods, you have basically the city that Blink-182 was making, and Neighborhoods, the title up there on a billboard. And one thing that was really unique about this cover was on it you had tributes to different people, like DJ Am, who died in 2009, who was a really good friend of Travis Barker. He's right there. And you have Travis Barker's daughter's name, Alabama, on one of the buildings too, and you have the Tom on one of the buildings, and it's really subliminal. This cover, it's really cool, and it has a really unique design, but it's very subliminal because it has different messages in it, and it's really cool for that reason. And even Mark's name is on here on one of the buildings, but it's far to the left or the right. So that's just about the artwork, and I apologize if I can't show it to you, but of course it's only my iPad, so there's not much I can really do. But it's definitely cool. You can actually get a closer look up here, and probably pause the video and just see. But yeah, it's definitely a really cool cover, really cool album cover-wise. But all right, I'm going to be doing what I did last time, diving right in. So let's see. So first song on this album that I got was Ghosts on the Dance Floor. And Ghosts on the Dance Floor is different. And that's one thing I will say about this album is it's different from old Blink stuff. There's much more synth. There's a lot more influence from side projects than they used on different albums. Personally, my favorite Blink-182 album was the self-titled, which they incorporated a lot of maturation and a lot of different things to make up a beautiful piece of, and a group of songs and music. And that's the same thing they did on this album. They used, for example, Tom, during the hiatus, which Blink was on from 2005 to 2009, when Tom was working with Angels and Airwaves, he brought some of his ideas and things that he was working with into Blink to try to enhance the sound. And one thing I will say is that these days bands are doing a lot of things trying to change their sound and reinvent how they sound. And Blink-182 did that actually rather successfully on this album. So Ghost on the Dance Floor is a really cool track, mainly because it's not a strong opener, but it's a good opener. Some albums that I reviewed have had songs that have really strong opening songs, but haven't been good opening songs. If you understand what I'm saying, like Seether's Disclaimer 2, Gasoline was a fantastic opener, and Na 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 and Danger Days, My Chemical Romance, or even on Tom's other band, We Don't Need to Whisper, they had Valkyrie Missile. So so that it was definitely a great song. I liked it a lot, and I listened to it, and it's a very solid track. Um, one thing I will say is it's not one of those songs where I was constantly replaying and replaying it. It's a solid track, and it's definitely a good track. It's a great listen, and but Tom's vocals sometimes might get a bit annoying, but that's only because it gets annoying basically all the time. But well, not all the time, but there are certain circumstances where his voice doesn't fit, and there are some where his do. So it was a pretty good song, pretty good starter. So that song's about an 8 out of 10. Next we had Natives, and one thing I will always say is that Blink-182 always tries to keep it punk somehow. This song is a very nice song. It opens with a fantastic opening, and they use a lot of what you call it rotating vocals. They won't necessarily have one singer for the song. They'll have Mark do a verse. They'll have Tom do a verse. They'll have, yeah, it'll switch by verse or chorus, and that's when they did one thing they did with this song. Mark came in on the choruses, Tom did the verses, and it fits so perfectly, and it blends so perfectly with the guitars and the instrumentals that it provided a fantastic song, a song that made you want to keep listening and keep going on with the album. So it was a fantastic song. I listened to it a lot. It was on a lot of playlists on my iPod, so that song's about a 9. Next we had Up All Night, which was the lead single, and when I first heard it, I didn't love it, but then I realized that it was one of the tracks on this album that stayed true to Blink's roots, and I wanted to put up some fast-paced, energetic sound that made you want to keep listening. And it was a fantastic song once I started listening to it more, because um, one thing I will criticize the song about is it doesn't end correctly. It fades out and then it comes back with this instrumental that doesn't make a lot of sense. But it was a solid track. I definitely like it, and just to keep time short, because I'm already at about 6 minutes. So solid track, and I'm glad I listened to it. About an 8.5 to 9 out of 10. Next we have After Midnight, which is one of the other lead singles from the album. I enjoyed the song a lot. It's calm, but it builds up like most lead singles do. And this song, like most lead singles, goes clean up in the lineup, which means it usually goes fourth or fifth. It's a really good song. I liked it a lot, and it grows on you. It's one of those songs that you don't like from the beginning, but it grows on you a lot, and you enjoy it because it's like that. So, yeah, really good song, 8.5 solid, definitely. And I'm sorry if I'm rushing this, but I just don't have a lot of time. Snake Charmer. This was one of those songs that was very different. Um, it was really cool because it was different, and it went out of Blink's comfort zone and did something different that would make someone want to listen and just enjoy it. It's a weird song. When I first heard it, I didn't really like it, but after a while, it grows on you because of its difference, and you wonder if it's really a Blink song, but it's really a good Blink song, I will say. There's a lot of effect to it, for instance. Tom's vocals sound really, they sound like there's a lot of effect to it, but then again, it sounds like that on the rest of the album, so it's a really solid song, and I'm glad I listened to it. I think, though, I'm going to give it about a 7. One of the weaker tracks on the album. Heart's All Gone. Okay, so next we have Heart's All Gone, Interlude, which is, it's really an interlude, so I can't really rate it, but it builds up really well to the next song, Heart's All Gone, and I think I'll just count it as part of Heart's All Gone. So next we have Heart's All Gone, and one thing I will say is, before I go into this, is that this song, Heart's All Gone, is a punk song on a rock record. When Blink-182 put this album out, it's not a pop punk record. It's not a punk rock record. It's a rock record. It's a straight up rock record. But this song, Heart's All Gone, is punk rock. It's straight up punk rock, and there's no denying it. It's fast, it's angry, it's aggressive, and that's exactly what they're trying to strive for. And I loved it. I loved it when I first heard it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was staying true to Blink's roots, and it was just paying tribute in the best ways possible. When Mark's vocals, one thing I will say is that they completely shut Tom out in every single way possible. They let Mark take this song, and that's one thing I've realized they do with Mark a lot is when they want to stay true to their roots, they use Mark. If they want to do some more experimental things, they use Tom. But yeah, fantastic song. I loved it a lot, and I think for people that like to stay true to Blink's roots and like old Blink stuff, this is definitely what they'll be looking for. 9.5 out of 10. Next we had Wishing Well. Wishing Well was one of those songs that was different, but it was fantastic because it was different. It's really catchy. The chorus is really nice. It makes you want to just listen more. Like the verses were first annoying, and sometimes the effects are a bit annoying, but the chorus is so really good. It just makes you want to keep on listening, and it's such a fantastic song. I love it a lot, and I'm very glad Blink decided to play this live, and yeah, it's just overall one of the best songs on the album, I will definitely say. It strides for difference, but it does it in a very successful way. And once again, I'm sorry I have to keep this pretty short. I just don't want this to really go too long and all that good stuff. So next we had Kaleidoscope, which I think I'm going to say is my favorite song on the record. It was fantastic. It was a fantastic song. It built up in a perfect way. It built up. It was a pretty humble song, and and they use Tom's voice in the choruses and Mark's voice in the verses, and and in this song it kind of reminds me a bit of Plus 44, which is Mark and Travis's side project that they did during the Blink hiatus, but the choruses was fantastic, and I'm a big fan of choruses. I love choruses in songs, and I find that to be the one of the things that turns me onto a song the most. That and like huge riffs and all that good stuff. But it was a really good song. I kept listening to it all the time. It's on countless numbers of playlists on my iPod, and I absolutely adore the song. It's a really solid song. I recommend it to anyone. If you wanted to listen to this album, listen to Hearts All Gone and Kaleidoscope, and then do things like that. The next song I didn't really love. It reminded me of the '80s. Just like on how Blink's self-titled album, they had the song Always, which reminded me a lot of the '80s because it had a lot of synths. And this is one of those songs on the album where you can obviously see Tom bringing in his Angels and Airwaves influences. And it was pretty good. It's a solid song. I don't love it. I don't hate it at all. I think it's a really good song. It's really catchy, and yeah, I think that's really all I have to really say about the song. I like it. I think it's really solid, and it fits well within the album, because you can't have a powerful song, then another powerful song. You have to really break and give a song that's not so serious, and then kick back up. So it fits with the record. Even though it's not the best song, it fits very well inside the record. So this song is about an 8 out of 10, and the past song that I just did, Kaleidoscope, was easily a 10. So next we have MH 418 2011. When I first heard that song, I didn't really like it, but I started listening to it more, and I like how they used Mark's voice instead of Tom's on here, because one thing I've realized on Blink albums, on the past two albums, this one self-titled, Tom dominated the album. He dominated. His voice was all over the place, and it was everywhere. And they take breaks, and they really try to suppress that this time. And this song is really powerful. It's humble. It's humble, but it has a good message, and it's pretty powerful. Stop living in the shadow of a helicopter. I think that's sort of a reference for don't let anyone overshadow you, and just be yourself and get out there and do things. So the song had a really good message, and I liked it a lot. It's a very good listen, a very solid song on the album. It fits very well, and the songs on here fit very well together. They might not all be the best, but they're definitely a great fit. Okay, so next we're going into the last song on the regular, and so Love is Dangerous. This I don't think was a very great closer for a normal album, but it's different. Tom's vocals are very affected on this album. They're switched up, and this song has to grow on you. It's not one of those songs you immediately love. You have to give it a chance, and that's with some of the other songs on this album. Also, I didn't love this song, but I certainly did like it. It was a good listen, and even though it's different, it's tolerable. It's tolerable, and it's really cool. It doesn't step all the way outside the box, but it really brings some new ideas and new inventions to Blink and their sound. So I like this song. I'll give it about a 7.5 to 8. Next we have Fighting the Gravity, and I will say this is my least favorite song on the album, even though it's not technically on the album. It's a deluxe track, but this song, things just didn't work very well. It was the tone of the song was definitely not the best. It was rather dark, almost too dark for Blink, and I like how they used Mark's voice on here, but the song just didn't really work for me. I tried to listen to it multiple different times, and it just didn't necessarily work for me. Then again, I can't really be so positive about every song. I mean, I try my best to really bring professional opinions, but I think other people like this song. I just wasn't a big fan of it, but that's only my opinion. I'm going to give this song about a 6, 5.5 to 6, and I think that's the lowest I've ever given a song so far. And last one is one of my favorite tracks, even though it's not even on here, Even If She Falls. This was the closing track for the deluxe version, and let me just say, it was a fantastic closing track. It's powerful, it's got good lyrics, it's got wonderful variants of vocals, and there's a lot right about this song. There's a ton right. the opening riff is very powerful, and then it breaks down, kicks off with the choruses, breaks down. It's a calm song. It's a calm song with a great message. But when it comes to the choruses, it's powerful where it needs to be powerful. And I think that's something fantastic that they did with the album in general and with the song. So that song is easily a 9, easy. Okay. So once again, I'm sorry I had to rush this, but this album, I think, overall was a new step for Blink. They were doing something different from what they had done past. And I know when they got back from the hiatus, they wanted to do something that was better than what they had done. They wanted to extend their legacy, and I think they did that with this. They just did it in different ways than people thought they would. The songs are different, but they are fantastic because they are different. I really enjoyed the listen. When I first listened to it, I wasn't a huge fan, but now that I really listened to it a bunch of different times, I appreciate it very much. I think it's a great buy if you're a Blink fan. If you're a Blink fan, give it a try. That's all you can really do. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, then it's a great album. I will definitely say. This album, I think, is going to get an 8.5 to 9 from me. Yeah, I liked listening to it a lot, and I'll definitely have a replaying. It's definitely a classic Blink. Even though it doesn't beat Self-Titled. Self-Titled is still up there, but it's a really good album, a great way to follow up a hiatus, and a great way to come back and really just pick up where they left off. So I credit Blink on everything they did for this album, and yeah, that's about it. Alrighty, guys. I'm sorry I had to rush this, but I really need to get to bed soon. It's like 11:30. But alrighty, guys. Take care. Thanks for watching all my videos and helping me become a YouTube partner. And I'm looking forward to my next reviews and anything that happens on this channel. So thanks, guys. Have a good night.